Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 5. It's hard to believe it's week 5. I bet you guys are getting really busy with not only this class, your other classes as well. But that's why you're here at Cal Poly, because you guys can manage it. Okay, so let's get started. I'll try and go fast. I know some of my recordings are long, and I realize that sometimes a 15-minute screencast might, when I explain instructions, might seem long. But if we were in class, I might take 15 minutes to describe, to explain something. So, maybe think of these videos if they seem a bit long to you, and they would to me as well. Believe me, I'm not one to sit down and watch 15 minutes worth of video instructions either. So you might want to just, skim through it, maybe put it on fast play, watch a little bit at a time, put it on in the background while you're making yourself some dinner. So, it's really beneficial for you to watch the screencast, especially when I describe or explain in detail either instructions or expectations. All right, so here we are. As you know, this video that I'm recording right now will be in the launch for week 5. It's just amazing. It's week 5. So if you see as we go along, the focus is going to be on the definition paper. If you look back at last week, all the information about the definition paper is in week 4's module. So if you're going, well, where is that? Where are the instructions? How do I know what I'm supposed to do? Please go back to week 4 and look at all of the information on the definition paper. I have a document here that students have frequently asked questions, things like, can I use first person? Just various questions that people have, students have come up with over time. And so that's a FAQ page for you. And I think it's probably pretty beneficial to skim through it before you even start. Another section I have here is when or how to contact me or any of your other professors, really, about a formally graded assignment. That's an assignment in which you've earned an ABC on it. So there's a protocol I like you to follow so that we can have the most fruitful and beneficial discussion. If there's a grade that you're concerned about or you're not sure how to approach me even, so read through this. It's quick and it's quick and it'll really help you out. I included a short little video, how to use Wikipedia in college. I think sometimes we tend to think that college professors, have this deep scorn for Wikipedia. And really, Wikipedia is useful in its limited impact. So I think all of us go to Wikipedia to just kind of get the quick and dirty on something. We don't expect Wikipedia to give us everything in the world on that topic, but it's a nice way to get some nuggets. So please take a look at that video. I've got a whole component. It looks a lot longer than it actually is. Look, I tell you the entire component, including the quiz, an hour. That's being super generous or excessive. I think you can do it in far less, especially if you're familiar with the to be verbs. If you have not been exposed to the to be verbs, be, is, am, was, were, are, there is, those kind of, or do and doing, or have and has. This will be a wake-up call for you if you're haven't been exposed to kind of the pitfalls of being trapped by these low-level verbs. They're really fakes. They're not fakes. They're helper verbs. They're never meant to be a power verb. And students have gotten in the habit of using, helper verbs as in place of their action verbs. And not only do they kind of devoid your paper of action, they also create wordiness. And wordiness in academic writing is a big no-no. So a lot of my emphasis in this entire class is going to be get rid of wordiness. Say what you can in the least amount of words possible. Don't make your reader lift heavy weights. And lifting heavy weights is having to make their way through a document filled with wordiness. Your job as a writer is to make things easy for the reader. So these are little components. Read through them and then take the quiz. All right, so you can, of course, take the quiz anytime you like. You don't have to wait till the 20th. You don't have to wait till the 22nd on this quiz on chapter 6. You don't have to, I mean, the 22nd. You don't have to wait till the 20th to start your discussion, right? So as you know, get started, get your first post by Tuesday so your last post can be in by Thursday. This week, we also have a peer feedback workshop. All right, that's going to be your definition paper, and you're going to do some feedback workshops on Canvas. So first I have you read, what's even the purpose of peer feedback? Why do we even do this? If you've been in a class before where the teacher says, we're going to do peer editing, and they give you, find the thesis, this is not that kind of feedback. I have created a particular document that accompanies the definition essay. It's comprehensive, and it will help you when you provide feedback for your peer's paper. In a sense, you're being self-reflective about your own paper as you provide feedback to your peer. All right, this one's what's the purpose of peer feedback? This is the peer feedback document. In other words, what is it going to look like? What's the document that you're going to use to provide feedback for your peer? I sometimes interchangeably call this the peer editing or peer feedback. I use those interchangeably. I also have a recorded peer feedback, the same document, but I describe it in greater detail to give you an idea of how you're supposed to, what does it mean, and how are you supposed to respond? How do I submit a peer review to an assignment? Like if you've never done peer reviews or peer editing on Canvas, this will be new to you. So you're going to want to read the instructions, and it tells you exactly how the whole submission and editing and resubmission works. Here's where you submit the actual paper for feedback. So follow the timeline inside this link. You have to submit it by a certain time. You have a number of days to provide feedback to your peer, and then you need to upload it back into Canvas. All right, so sometimes I'll have a student who submits a paper for peer feedback, but then doesn't provide feedback to anybody else. So if you submit, please do complete the feedback for your peer. And I just want to make a note here that you likely will not be editing the same person who's reviewing your paper. In other words, just because you might be peer reviewing, let's say, Tim's paper, that doesn't mean that Tim is editing your paper. So Canvas submits them kind of randomly. I don't have any control over that. What I do know is that if you need to submit it on time if you want to be included in peer editing. Okay, so I also have here how to refine your focus in your definition paper. This is kind of after you've done the peer feedback. How do students refine the focus? How do you make the paper more poignant, more dialed in, so that extraneous information is left out? And then, of course, as you know, you'll have your week 5 wrap-up, which won't be visible until the end of the week. So your marching orders are here. There's a lot going on. I think if you remember, you have, let me scroll back up here to, where is that? Let's see. Oh yeah, the summary response. Don't forget that even though this is kind of embedded in last week's component, your summary response is due on the 18th, which is this week. Okay, so even though it's not showing here in week 5, if you look at your calendar or your to-do list, it is actually there. Okay, I think that's complete enough. Please email me if you have questions. Also, follow the protocol when or how to contact your professor about the grade you earned. All right, so that's essential that you kind of get on board with how together we can, approach your work and and help you achieve the goals that you're actively seeking. All right, have an awesome week 5, everybody, and I hope to see you in my office hours. Take care.